Hey guys, it's supermexicanmia. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay, today I wanted to talk about like what it's like being a first-time mom, like being a mom and having pets. So I'm going to try to remember. Okay, so real fast, just keep in mind that I really wanted to make this video like literally since Camilo was born, or like kind of like try to like up or like keep little like snippets, but it's been hard because a lot of stuff has happened in my life, you already know. So I'm going to try my best to kind of try to remember how it was like when Camilo was a newborn, and also like, you know, just throughout this entire time, like try to remember how it's like, you know, have the side of like having pets and a baby, like newborn and like, you know, really young baby and then like almost a little toddler. Basically when I was pregnant, I like really tried my best to like be like, you know, good with the animals, like, you know, literally like I would let them know like you know, I would talk to them, you know, like a human being, like, hey, I'm like gonna go out, or like I'm gonna do this, you know. I told them like, hey, I'm pregnant. So it's like there's gonna be little like new baby like human being like coming into our lives, coming into our little pack. So, you know, Toby was really like with me throughout my pregnancy. Also Zeus, he was always like, you know, on my tummy, like his head, like. And then Bonita, she was just the one I would say that wasn't like, there's kind of no switch. And then Marley, he's not my dog, like personal dog, but he's my family's, so like my mom's and dad's dog. But you know, we live with each other, so he's like family dog. And he started kind of being more mean to me, like aggressive. I remember at one point in the pregnancy, kind of like when he was almost going to be born, he bit me. I was like, Marty. And then he has bitten me like a couple of times after too, maybe like once or twice. I did kind of like, you know, not like my fault, but like I did start it because I really want to be like, you're so cute, and I want to pet him and stuff, and I get close and he's like, argh, and yeah, and he bites me. But it's okay, I guess. But Toby, he got like, oh, and I didn't really like do a lot of I didn't pick up the litter and all that, you know, while I was pregnant. But after Camilo was born, I did try, I think, using gloves. No, I don't really. I just kind of like, it could be either I use gloves or not, but you know, obviously washing your hands thoroughly and everything, you know. Sometimes I do change my shirt when I feel, or I think I always have my hair, try to have my hair up too when I change litter. But sometimes when it, like the dust, the litter dust just get a little like, I feel on me, I change my shirt because, you know, whew. I think it was more like that I was concerned about the barking and basically walking them and like basically, you know, making time for both of them. So obviously Camilo's newborn, like, you know, my baby, obviously, like, you know, I know Bonita's my baby, like I had her in 2018, you know. I didn't have her, but you get me, like we adopted her. Oh, her and her siblings, like that year I was 18, and they were like basically, I think they were born July, no, June 1st. So they were like around 2 months when we adopted them. But you know, she's been in my life for like a long time. And then also Toby, and then Zeus like was recently when I got pregnant, that's when he was like born essentially, you know. So Bonita's the oldest at this point. I think she was going for like, I think she was 6, she was 5 or 6 years, right now she's gonna turn 7. And then Zeus was pretty young too. He wasn't like a year yet, you know. He was like, you know, like I think about to turn a year. And then Toby, he's like, Toby's a cat. Toby's only cat. He was like, honestly, because he's turning 5, I think. I forgot. I honestly get confused about Toby. Middle child vibes like me. No. And then Marley, he's turning 3, I think. So this is like, you know, just put in line in perspective how, like, you know, the age also differs. And then, like, you know, Zeus was the biggest dog, and then, you know, 2 mediums and then a cat. He's not really too small for a cat, but he's not really big either. So I would try to train myself, and like sometimes Bonita more Zeus, to be like good with, like, you know, walking with a stroller, you know, doing stuff like that. You know, just so it could be easier on me, because I really wanted to like kind of go out to the park every day, you know, if I could, or every other day. I remember when we first came, I was just so shook, like you have no idea. Like I remember when I was going to give birth, we like had, I think, my ex's siblings like take care of like the pets for like a day or two, and then afterwards, like, you know, we would come back from the hospital. So like, you know, it was like good for like, because you know we care about our pets to be watched, right? I remember like when we came they were hella barking because you know they were excited. They haven't seen us in like for like what seemed like forever. It was like maybe 2-3 days that we were gone. But yeah, like it's insane because I gave birth that 25th, but I think I had to stay until the 28th or 27th, I forgot. But you know, we came back home like 2 days later for sure. They were barking. I think he was awake at that point, you know, because newborns' eyes are kind of like this, you know, like so you can't really like kind of tell, but you could tell obviously when they're like moving and stuff, they're awake. But I think he was awake, or maybe they woke him up, but he didn't cry. I was like shook. I was like, is he gonna cry? Because they're barking, because he obviously was never like, you know, introduced to pets before this, you know. We were literally at the hospital, so we got there, and then like I let them like sniff. And then before this too, I would always try to research as much as I can, like, you know, how to introduce dogs to newborn, how to do this, how to do this, you know, to make sure they have a good connection from the beginning, so that they don't feel like, you know, distant or off. And then so that obviously they feel comfortable with your new baby, right? So they were good, you know, like I said hi to them and everything. Like we went to the room first, I think. I forgot what we did, honestly. But we came in, right, and they were barking, but then they were good. But oh my gosh, it's crazy, you know, like having like a new like being, you know, because obviously they were like smelling everything. I think we did give them like some of his blinkies like to sniff at first, and then Bonita was really sniffing it. Like I visually remember her sniffing. I can't really remember about anyone else, to be honest, but because I always focus on Bonita, right? But like since then it's been like hard, obviously. I think the most number one thing obviously it's just like time management, but also like not giving up. Like any little noise you hear, anything, they will start working. And then, you know, sometimes it would wake him up, but thank God that we have like a door here and then a door like from the hallway, so it kind of muffles it, but there's still obviously you could still hear the bark. And sometimes it would wake him up, but then like maybe even after less than a month, I think I'm like 2 weeks to 3 weeks, he kind of got adjusted to it, like the barking, like dogs barking, you know, like that noise. And then also Loki, Toby meowing. I feel like it took him a little while to adjust to Toby's meowing, to be honest, because now like how he is now at like, so this I'm talking about when he was a newborn, right? Like, you know, within that first month, like March 25th, you know, of 2020 through, you know, 24 or 2025. No, he's going to turn 10 months on January 25th. So crazy. 2025, 2025. But now he like mimics like cat meows, you know, like whenever we go to my sister's house, his aunt's house, like she has like, they have 6 cats, like he mimics them. It's crazy. Like sometimes and then also with Toby, like he sometimes mimics him. It's weird but creepy but cool. And then even like dogs, I feel like he mimics like their bark. I think he started mimicking them maybe like 3 months ago, 2 months ago, because then he kind of goes like whoa, whoa, or like he does like oh, like out of nowhere, and it's like, oh, because that's what the dogs do out of nowhere. So I don't know, maybe he could be doing that, maybe not, but I think he is, because it's like what, like weird. He's so funny. But yeah, I think honestly, like in like throughout this whole time we got pretty adjusted. Like, you know, I do set boundaries. I would really try my best to show like, you know, all my pets him, but with like a safe like boundary distance type of thing. Like I'd be holding him obviously like all the time because he was newborn. And then when we would do tummy time, Bonita would be with him most of the time to do tummy time. So, you know, I would just make sure, because I'm very cautious, you know, about, I'm a very cautious person about like, and you know, I think about like all the bad things that can happen, but keeping in mind that I want to keep a positive like mood, you know, it's like set, like nothing bad will happen, but I need to be ready, or I need to spring into action if something does happen, right? So sometimes Bonita gives like these cues, like because I know how she is, I know how she acts. She's crazy, she is psycho. She's sleeping, but she's psycho. So then whenever like she does like a little like something, like she just kind of sniffs, or like she's just kind of like her eyes do a little thing, I'm like no, like not like whale eyes, but like just, I know how she is, she's a little silly. So then I'm like, okay, like, you know, back off for a second. And then Marley, he's been really good with him, to be honest. I think until lately, literally just this last month, I want to say, or these last 2 weeks, he kind of growls now when he wants to go near him, and he's sleeping like kind of like don't bother me type of vibes, right? I think that's the only thing. But besides that, he's been like really like pretty good. Like sometimes he gets his leash and hands it to him, And I'm like, girl, he can't even walk yet. Like, how do you think he's gonna walk you? And then with Bonita, she's literally been with him from like the beginning. I want to say, like at first it was like Zeus, but then I think what was it, December something, December 6th, he like moved out. When everything happened between us. But Zeus would always like be like close to him. He would be. I think he was the first one to actually be like touch noses with him, or like even lick him. I think. But yeah, it was like they really have a good relationship with him, and I really like how Camilo, like whenever he sees them play or like roughhouse with each other, he just like smiles or he gets excited. But then I like it because he observes their behavior. You get me? So it's like it's really good like for children to grow up with pets. Like I've always read about that, and it's like really cool because I didn't really grow up with pets. Like I grew up like with pets, I want to say like when I was like a little bit older. You get me? Not like right when I was born, like we had a pet. Like it wasn't like that. Like maybe when my sister was born, I want to say I think that we had pets, like Aaliyah, my younger sister. But me and my older like sibling, we didn't really like grow up until like maybe I was like 2-3 years old. Then we got her like another dog or something, or a dog or something like that. You get me? It was like it took a while. It was like Camilo, he's like straight in, like, and we even had mice. And we had birds too at that point. I completely forgot. So with the birds, I didn't really ever let him go near them. I would like, carry him like and be like, look, like birds, but we'd be like, distant, like more longer than my arm, distant. And then with the mice, because the birds, like their cage is like open, like airy, with the mice cage, it's like more glass, like it's more enclosed. So I would kind of bring like not like super close, but a little closer to them to be like, look at the mice. I think at this point we had all three of them. We had Tater Tot, Rosie. Oh no, I forgot her name. Not Ahsoka. It wasn't Ahsoka. Was it Ahsoka? No, it wasn't Ahsoka. Damn it, I forgot. But I feel bad now. But we had all three mice. It was like he grew up with like a lot, like as a newborn. Right now, like we had to give the birds away, and then all three mice have died already. So sad. But yeah, and then Zeus left. But I will always forever cherish those moments that he had with Zeus, because it's like his, also my first big dog in like forever, but also like my own big dog. You get me? And then Camilo, I feel like it's really cool. And then also seeing them like, how dogs walk, all on all fours. I think it really like, motivated him and made him really want to crawl. So like I think whenever, because they just go around near him and stuff, and then and then now he's pulling himself up and he just like pets him, and he's really good with Toby at first. And also whenever we go visit my sister and her pet, and her boyfriend, their pets, they have 6 cats and 2 dogs, and he's pretty good with them too. The only thing is now he's kind of obsessed with wanting to pull their tails, and I'm like, girl. We had a little incident. I forgot, it was like a week ago. He went over, and then he just grabbed the little one, Charlie's tail. They get along like really well. They're like super close. Like Charlie lets him do whatever he wants. Like they're both like babies around the same age. But he grabbed her tail, and I could not like let go. So she started hissing and scratching, wanting to scratch. I put my arm and I was like, no, like I was like, scratch me, but don't scratch him. And I'm like, come here, let go. So now I'm like trying to talk to him more and more, like even like way before, when we would first like let them be around each other. I would try to make sure, like literally let him know, like be gentle with them. Like I know he's a baby, he doesn't understand, but this is I guess like a way to start. Like be gentle. I don't literally let him ever like try to get their tails. It's really hard, because he just grabs whatever he wants. So I think that's just a thing to keep out with like the tails for sure. And then obviously if I could literally tell when she's bothered or when she does not want anyone near her. She just makes it look like, it's not like a warning, but she just kind of like, don't get near me. Or she herself moves away, like Bonita. And Toby too, like, but like I'm really thankful that Toby and Loki, Charlie, like, but mostly Toby, he literally does nothing, like at all. You could like do whatever to him, like maybe unless you bother him too much on the belly, but like it takes him forever to get like annoyed of you. So I'm really grateful that he's pretty like, what's that called? He has a lot of patience. I have a very patient cat. Just not for food. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I want to say like this whole time, like it's cool, it gets better. Obviously, as your baby grows up, it's really hard. Like, you know, like I gotta feed Toby at this time, I gotta do this, and then it's Camilo snack time, and then I gotta walk them, and then I gotta feed them, and then, you know, blah blah blah. But once you get like a little routine going, or even like, you know, you let them know like, hey, I gotta focus, or like, you know, I gotta use the restroom, or, you know, I'm gonna do this and then this and then this, but you know, you get it done, you get me? So it's like you really have to manage your time, but then also like not give up. Like it's really hard to not like, you know, be like, okay, you know, like every time I'd be like, oh, and then I have to change his litter, I have to change the bag, I have to feed the mice before, you know. And it's sad when they, you know, when you do lose a loved one, like a little pet or something, but then you keep going, you know. It's just like never giving up, right? Like it's just left, it was sad and everything, but it's like, okay, like, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know. Like at the end of the day, it's like you still gotta get up, you gotta, you know, you gotta brush his teeth, you gotta make his bottle, gotta change his diaper, gotta change his outfit, you gotta get yourself ready, like, you know, your morning shit, you know, like, you know, do everything, brush your hair, you know, brush your teeth, do whatever, change if you can, do your hair if you can, and then like bam, let's go walk. You know, I'm so happy. I don't think I filmed it, I don't think I've been filming it, because sometimes I leave my phone. I just leave it to charge or something, because I literally every night after like we do our little routine with Camilo, I just get on my phone if like I'm like, okay, I have a little time, you know, like to myself. And then I like either my battery like my phone dies, or I run out of like battery and need to charge in the morning. So like I remember I walked Camilo like in his stroller and Bonita, like, and it was nice, you know. I'm like, oh, this is all I wanted. I love it. Yeah, but I can't film it because I, you know, I mean, I can film it, but I forgot my phone. I always forget my phone whenever I walk them. I hate it, but it's really cool. Like I love it. I can't wait to show you guys. But yeah, it's really nice. That is cool having like, you know, a baby with pets, but it's very like, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, guys.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a lot, guys. Hey, it's Miko Militer.
who stayed with us? Oh, little Truby. And it's really cute seeing him play. Like I taught him how to use the cat wand. Sometimes he wants to put it in his mouth. Whenever he does that, I just take it away. I'm like, no, like this is a toy. Like it's for, you know, you don't put it in your mouth. And I give it back to him, and he's like, okay. And then he just plays with my Toby. It's so silly, huh, Baba?
Yeah, it's really cool, guys.
Oh no! Look, this is a new face that he makes. Also, too, like whenever it's his nap time and stuff, like the pets like know, like, okay, it's our time to relax now, you know. And it's cool. Like they have like even before then they would know when it's nap time and not, you know, like growing up like just the pets. But it's cool that they understand that it's like, okay, he's sleeping, like kind of be like quiet now, you know. Like they're starting to get more sense of that, but they're still alert. So if it's like they're in the living room and they hear something, or a package gets delivered, they will let us know. And it's like, no. But I am excited though when he's like older, you know, like, so like he could like, you know, feed them and stuff, or like we'll walk them or something. I think I'm really excited for when that time comes. So yeah, it's like a lot of looking forward to things. Like it's really cool. Plus we have like, you know, obviously things to like separate them too. Like they're all allowed on the bed, and then, you know, that's his crib. Sometimes Bonita, Toby, maybe Marley, and Charlie, when she comes over, they hang out in here in his little playpen. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's basically, you know, having boundaries, making sure you keep those boundaries and that they respect, you know, like both of them. But obviously you as a parent have to be more on it with, like, you know, your baby, obviously with the pets, but you know, they're animals.
What animals?
So yeah, I really think like if you're thinking about having a baby, you have pets. No, I'm kidding. But it really depends obviously on their personalities as well, just as a whole. Sorry, he's getting heavy. Oh, my chicken! Ah, he's so heavy. It's huge. Crazy. Look at my Papa. Cheese. Oh, my little. He needs to sleep a little more. He was sick yesterday, like really sick, but today he's getting better. But he was awake for like a little over 4 hours. And yesterday, I think the most that he was up for is like 3 hours because he was sick.
Hi, it's Miko Militer. I have pets, guys.
And it's funny too, because sometimes whenever like we go out to walk sometimes too, like we let him hold the leash, and it's kind of funny. Oh, that face again. Boom. And then, oh, another thing too, he does go after the pet's toys a lot.
Don't say that, Mama, I don't.
Yeah, he does. Alright, so just to finish it up, also whenever like he would start crying when he was like newborn, and even up to now, like it took them a little while. Like at first you could tell they were uncomfortable, like they're like kind of like, what is that noise, or like, why is he like that? They'd be like kind of like but they wouldn't bark, you know. You could just feel and look at how or see their uncomfortableness. now now they're just like a little more used to it, you know. They're used to like a lot of things, like even before, like with like a lot of sounds that he would make and like noises, or just like little like movements that he would do. I remember going to my sister's house. At first the cats would be very like weird and uncomfortable about it. They'd be like they just run away, or like they just like go away from him, kind of be like, I want to avoid you, or avoid this, you know, whatever this is. But now they're like, due to them having to evacuate their place and everything, and like they were with us for like a good chunk of time, the cats got really like just comfortable with how Camilo is. So it's really cool. Look at my chicken! Hi, my mama! So it's cool how, like, you know, over time you like your pets also get like used to them. Like at first I remember he stopped using binkies like maybe around 3 months for sure. 3 for sure. Like by 4 months he like it was off the pacifier. But I remember Zeus ended up chewing I think all 3 of his pacifiers that he had. He had other ones from the hospital, but like the ones that he got from the baby shower or something. Be careful of where you put his things, like making sure you put everything away on their designated place, and then making sure that the dogs aren't like, you know, going near there, or like preventing the dogs from getting his things, right? So that goes for like, you know, his toys, and then also like, you know, his clothes, his like literally everything, you know, just making sure like it's all clear and clean too, or like as much as you can, right? And it goes for both, obviously, like the also like your baby with like the dog's toys and the cat's stuff and everything, you know, like food and everything. So yeah, you know, it's like it's hard, but it's also really fun, you know, like if all goes well, right? But I really want to make this video because it's, you know, a completely different thing just being like a first-time mom, but also with like pets, you know, like already kind of being a mom, you know, in that sort of way, but introducing a new human being like a child into like the mix. So it's really cool, and I hope, you know, like, oh, also, I know a lot of people that have had to, you know, give their dog away, or like even the cats, because they get like, you know, obviously everything changes like once you have a little baby, right? Or like once you bring it into the mix. So I was very fortunate to be like someone that actually could keep all our pets, you know. This was when I was pregnant. Like it was, you know, having Benny was a lot, and there was talks of like not having Zeus anymore. But, you know, like, fortunately, Benny was given to my sister. But it wasn't because of, like, you know, having a baby like that in terms of that. But it was, like, because of pregnancy, because of my mother. I'm talking about, like, after Camilo was born, you know, like, we were, like, fortunate to keep, you know, everyone that we had with us. You get me? But, you know, it sucks that Zeus left. But hopefully he'll be able to hang out with him in the future. But for now, we have our little ones. Camilo! Bonita and Chirby.
Hey, guys. Hey.
When we would first make purees and then introduce him to solids, it would be Zeus licking him and then cleaning up like his chair after. Now that, you know, he's gone, it's Bonita now. And then now Camilo's getting like his stuff, like his food, and sometimes giving it to them. He like goes like, and then like they're just there waiting, and I'm like, oh. So that's like another thing to like watch out for, or like look out for, you know, just like to be sure that like, you know, your baby's eating his food, her food, and not giving it to the pets. But also it's kind of like cute and funny and nice, you know, but it's like finish your food and then give the scraps, you know. But yeah, it's another like cool thing. It's crazy going to my sister's house, because in her cats, they just go all up on him because they're like, they hungry. They just want to take all his food away. So that's just funny. But yeah. I think overall though, or like in general, it's just a really nice thing to have your baby grow up, you know, like with your babies, like everyone, you know, like it sucks too though, like, you know, thinking about it, because in the future, once, you know, Camilo's maybe like 12, 16, I don't know if everyone's still gonna be here, you know, but it's like, it's nice to know that, you know, we're all within like the same like timeline, so to speak, right? So yeah, it's really nice. It's like I can't wait until he can help me feed them and wipe them though. I'm just kidding.
Oh, mi bonita. Oh, mi Chirby.
I also forgot to mention that I think I remember feeling at the beginning very like, I felt bad. What's that word? I felt bad because I felt like I wasn't giving as much attention as like they deserved, like Bonita, like Zeus, like Toby, like the pets just in general. Like, I wouldn't play, like it was hard for me in the pregnancy to kind of like play more and more with like everyone, especially Toby though, because I just, my energy was just all into making Camilo. And then when he was born, it was just all focused into like making sure he's like good, right, and taken care of, and then pumping and like, my everything, right. But then I think honestly, like after you get through the trenches of the newborn the newborn phase, it just, everything gets better and better. It's just like, it's like easier to like, now like he's playing with Toby, like sometimes with the pets, like he just like not like throws toys, but he just like kind of drops it, or like, so it gets easier. And like you do start feeling like, better, but like with yourself, like at least I did, for sure. Like I remember I would always talk with them, with like my pet, to be like, I'm sorry, like I know you like need this, or like, I'm sorry, like, maybe I missed like a few walks with you, or like, something like this, like, I like, no, this is your snack time, but like, give me a second, like just something is like, so things got delayed, right? Yeah, my baba. But it's like, now it's like, I think we're like all collectively like better now as a family. So we're like locked in, right? Like Bonita, me and Camilo for sure. And then Toby, and it's like, we're good. But there is like, that feeling of like, I remember, yeah, my mama. I do remember sometimes looking at them and I'd be like, I'm sorry, like, me holding Camilo, and I'm like, sometimes it would be like really nice. Sometimes it would be really nice tender moments, like all of us together. Like in the bed, be laying down and be like good. But then, I do feel like there's sometimes I'm like, oh, like I feel bad, right? Like I should be playing with you, or like something, right? But I'm with my baby, right? So it's like you do have some stuff like that. So it's also as if like, if you're thinking of having children, and if you have pets, it's also like, they're going to for sure be your like second priority. Like your baby has to be like your main, like obviously, So it is hard, like, like when my sister and her partner, like I see them, like, that those are their kids, right? Like that's why I always say, like, Charlie is his cousin, like they're all like cousins, right? But it's like now it's like, well, Camilo is like my main priority, like it's like harsh, and it sucks, for my pets, right? Like especially Bonita, because she knows I love her, like, like she's my soledad, and Toby's my soul cat, but it's like, it's, they come second, like for sure, like to Camilo. So it's also like, that part of like, you don't want them to feel that way, but that's the reality of it, right? So it's just making sure that they, are also like well taken care of, you, right? Like the pets. So yeah, that's just, I wanted to add. But now it's like, they feel like hella a part of the family. Like before, I feel like it was like, oh, keep them separated, or like make sure they're not too close, or make sure this is this, right? But now it's like, okay, like they're getting along way better, like it's, everything's coming right like together. Oh my goodness. Answer me. Come on. I'm keeping the door closed because it's loud and bright out there, and it's Camilo's nap time soon, and he does not want to go to sleep again. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.